Hey, needs?
We got a problem.
How we evolve matters. To understand anything, you look for a why, a reason behind what you're seeing. Without that, there's no understanding. There's just reaction. And the people who hold real power understand this. They don't control events. They control the reasons people believe. When you control the why, you control perception. When you control perception, you don't need force. Human beings didn't evolve to see reality clearly. We evolved to survive. Assign cause, find meaning, then act. Accuracy came second. That distinction mattered. At our core, the human brain is a survival machine. Early humans who hesitated to explain a sound in the bushes didn't last long. So the brain learned to do one thing very fast. Because of survival pressure, early humans developed pattern detection, even in noise, agency detection, assuming intent, fast emotional tagging, good, bad, threat, safe. This kept us alive, but it also means we explain first and verify later. It's an evolutionary wiring that can be switched under certain circumstances. It used to be innocent before proving man guilty. Now you're guilty before proven innocent, which is why cops shoot first, ask questions later. The brain evolved to answer one question fast. What caused this? And do I need to act? In early humans, wrong attribution means death. Over attribution equals survival. So the brain prefers a cause over uncertainty, a story over randomness. This creates a bias towards explaining first, verifying later. Humans are pattern detectors. We see faces in clouds, meaning in coincidence, intent in noise. This ability keeps us alive, but it also means we detect patterns even when none exist. We also develop advanced pattern recognition. You can see how this can be exploited. Pattern detection can outrun evidence. We create agency. The brain assumes something did this, someone meant this. Why? Because assuming intent was safer than missing a predator. Modern result is random events feel personal, systems feel intentional. Neutral stimuli feel targeted. Although it may be the truth in case, the mind overdoes it, which creates more assumptions and less accuracy. Then add emotional state to the need for control and meaning, and the mind stops regulating itself. Like a car with no brakes, momentum replacing judgment. You have to create one for yourself. You have to create brakes for yourself. Luckily for you, it's one that exists and it requires no effort, just understanding. Understanding isn't about collecting information, it's about assigning cause. The moment we assign a why, we also assign meaning, identity, and often blame. When the why is wrong or unnecessary, it distorts perception. Sometimes ignorance isn't stupidity, it's freedom from cause. It's freedom from false causation. Now that our evolution is understood, it becomes clear why the program exploit these mechanisms, keeping us locked in fight or flight. What's required now is to rewire the brain, shifting what was once a survival instinct into a calmer, more relaxed, more conscious mode of understanding. Ignorance is bliss. Law of attraction don't exist. If there ever was once one, The Patriot Act disrupted it, destabilized it, reprogrammed it, and reinforced it to a new one, and to what we see today and know as gangstalking. Law of attraction today is really the program trying to deceive you into thinking it's something higher or beneficial for you, when in reality it's just them in the background orchestrating everything using technology. The program exploits our mind's evolved traits, pattern recognition, and the need to assign meaning. Those traits once helped us survive, but now they're being used to gain agency over our attention, our thoughts, and our sense of agency. And it doesn't help that we're already smart and intelligent individuals, because if we have no brakes, they can abuse us in ways where the action isn't there, but we apply action or meaning to the action, if that makes sense. But because the mechanism we're forged in survival, the environment we in is kept psychologically hostile to keep us in threat mode, to narrow our focus, because when focus narrows, whatever is present feels more significant. The more attention it receives, the more power it gains over behavior. That is why the key to combating this lies in the understanding that ignorance is bliss. What it really means to ignore is not to ignore. You can't ignore the program. What you do is not identify, do not recall, or bring about in your own mind. When you identify, you give them agency over your time and space. The brain demands a why, don't give it one. Disarm yourself from communication of the program. Nothing controls us by existing. It controls us only when we identify with it. If you don't look for a why, you experience events as they are, not as they are threats or plots. Stress decreases. Identification drops, meaning this has something to do with me that don't exist. The moment you identify with what they show you, you attach emotion, you lock perception into a story. You stop observing and start defending a belief. You find yourself offended, humiliated, hurt, bitter, trapped. An enemy doesn't need power. They need your identification. And in a way, who you are is power. It's the self they need. Presence is free. Identification is how consequences begin. This is why cops ask for your ID, to turn a self into a case, role, or record. The system can't process presence. It can only process identity tokens such as name, date of birth, and social security number. Identification is how presence becomes governable. Before ID, you are just a human being standing there, just awareness and body. After ID, you are a profile, a history, a classification, a record with consequences. The system doesn't act on you, it acts on who you are said to be and what you tell yourself. Presentation alone has no power. It doesn't hurt for someone to have a red shirt or drive a red car. Identification activates consequences. Once we identify with a reason that's meant to cause us harm, we get exactly what we're looking for. Pandora's box, pain and suffering within reason. Over time, some of us get so used to this pattern that it becomes a learned response known as aversive conditioning. Gangstalking, whatever it really is, we conceptualize it. Identification gives meaning. Meaning activates emotion. Emotion gives it life energy. Repetition trains the nervous system. Training becomes automatic response. Thus, they become an agent within our own autonomy. Because when you think about thoughts, your thoughts do nothing until you identify with them. A demonic stronghold is a self-reinforcing mental system. You beat the program by stop reinforcing, stop identifying it, just leave it be. Ignorance is bliss. Why ignorance is bliss? Not ignorance as stupidity, but non-identification. Bliss comes from not taking ownership of every stimulus, not assigning meaning to every event, not turning every presentation into participation. Low identification equals no control or low control. Don't choose meaning over reality. That's the trap, because they want you to interpret. Identification is control. That's when pain happens. That's when the identification of pain locks in. It's your interpretation of the program that keeps you locked in. That is why the program, the people in the program, they give you this blank stare, because truthfully it's nothing there. They don't understand. You come from a place where you might know, but sometimes we assume it's nothing in what they do because you're defining it. You're filling in the blanks. They looking at you for the answers because you are the answer. You are the one that is given. You give it meaning. Remove identification, then it has no power. It no longer have agency in your awareness. The program permeates through our interpretation and to our understanding. No interpretation, they remain a figment, but not in our imagination. Once you become untethered, danger, threat, they perish. All of it. Don't let their meaning and reason disrupt your peace. Go back to before you knew. And another thing, I always find it interesting how, when they can't identify with something, they call it a UFO. They keep it classified as a secret. So who are we? I remember I was in a store one day, and an older fella, he was talking out loud, and I assumed he was a perp, but once I heard what he was saying, some people would tell you the truth, but the way they do it is unorthodox. But you just gotta pay attention and listen, because some people know what's going on. And he said, don't let the dead outthink you. The dead is the dead. You are the living. And I felt it in my heart. He was talking about me, like, letting me know the dead is the dead. You are the living. And I thought about the show The Walking Dead. In the show The Walking Dead, the zombies move real slow. So slow, you gotta be stupid to get caught. And if it was me, I would never waste a bullet or shoot, because I can see myself just walking right past them, right? And that reason is what really took me away from the show, because I'm like, how is y'all getting caught when they slow? And that's the same thing with this program. You got to ask yourself, like, how do you get caught in this program once you know? It's like, being caught in that zombie movie. And I'm like, I prefer zombies that can run, because it presents real danger. But in Gangstalking, once you know all the tactics, it's like they move real slow, because you know the reason behind everything. So you don't get caught up. Like, once again, The Walking Dead, although they slow, if it's a bunch of them, and it make it hard for you to outmaneuver them, because they can kind of cage you in or box you in with their numbers. Then it doesn't matter if they moving slow or not, because their numbers will act like a cage. So I'm saying this to say, you just gotta watch the plays and see what they're going to do, and don't let them box you in. But most importantly, don't interpret what is happening. You just be, and you just allow it to be. It's not going to come overnight. This is a slow reprogramming of your mind, by not, once you hear something or you see something, you identifying it with Gangstalking. Let it go. Let the interpretation go.